What if the world's greatest empires didn't fall to enemies, but to numbers? What if gold and glory were just hiding a disease so deadly, it rotted them from the inside out? Rome, Spain, Britain, three superpowers that ruled the known world, and then collapsed into dust. Each one believed their wealth was infinite. Each one drowned in its own debt. Today we see the same pattern unfolding right in the heart of America. Is history simply repeating itself? Or is this the final terrifying act of a global debt spiral? Empires don't just die by accident. They follow a rhythm, a rise, a peak, and a fall. Rome had its unstoppable legions. Spain had its mountains of silver. Britain had its world-spanning navy. And America? It has the dollar. But behind every empire's power lies the same hidden cost: debt. It's a promise that one day the future will pay for the present. This isn't just history. This is the blueprint of every empire's fate. In the beginning, Rome was not rich. It was disciplined, ruthless, brutally efficient. Every single coin minted in the Republic carried the weight of conquest, the sweat of soldiers, the tribute of nations. Gold flowed into Rome like a river, and with it came a dangerous cocktail of confidence and corruption. Rome became addicted to expansion. Every new victory brought a flood of wealth, but every new war required even more wealth to fund it. And when the wars finally stopped, so did the money. To maintain the illusion of strength, the emperors began to debase the currency, secretly mixing precious silver with cheap, worthless metals. A denarius that once bought a soldier's unwavering loyalty now barely bought his anger. Taxes skyrocketed, trade ground to a halt. The empire started printing money it simply didn't have. Inflation, a silent killer, began to devour the economy from within. Rome didn't fall in a single dramatic night. It simply ran out of real value. You see, every empire believes it's too great to fail. Rome just happened to be the first to believe it. Fast forward to the 16th century, and Spain becomes the richest empire on earth. Its ships carried literal mountains of silver from the New World. The wealth of entire continents poured into Madrid. But this silver came with a curse. With such easy wealth came lazy economics. Why build industries when treasure ships arrived every month? Why innovate when you could simply conquer more land? Spain's rulers borrowed enormous sums, spending tomorrow's fortune today. Endless wars, opulent palaces, and religious crusades, all paid for with debt. By the late 1500s, the unthinkable happened. Spain, the richest empire in the world, declared bankruptcy, not once, but 4 separate times. An empire literally drowning in silver had no real money left. Inflation exploded. The price of a loaf of bread tripled. The very empire that once financed all of Europe became Europe's biggest debtor. Greed, once disguised as glory, had hollowed out Spain's heart. Every single ounce of that New World silver carried a shadow, and that shadow was debt. Then came the British Empire, the empire of credit. It didn't just rule by the sword, but by a system. London's banks became the arteries of the global economy. The pound sterling became the lifeblood of world trade. At its peak, Britain controlled a quarter of the entire planet. But behind its incredible global reach lay an equally enormous debt. Colonial wars, the Industrial Revolution, and the most powerful naval fleet ever seen, all financed through borrowing. The Industrial Age built wonders, but it also built financial bubbles. World War I shattered the illusion. The true cost of empire became unbearable. Britain desperately clung to its currency's dominance, but the world had already changed. The US dollar was on the rise and the pound began to sink. By the middle of the 20th century, Britain's empire was gone, but its debts remained. It turns out every empire that masters money is eventually mastered by it. Today, America stands where Rome once stood, unmatched, confident, and deeply indebted. Its currency powers the world, and its debt fuels it too. The dollar became the world's reserve currency, the new gold standard of global power. But power without discipline always turns inward on itself. We've seen trillions in spending, wars fought on credit, A financial system where debt is no longer seen as a danger. It's become part of the design. Every empire has told itself the same lie. We are different. But when interest payments on the national debt start to surpass the entire defense budget, when printing money replaces actual production, when speculation becomes more profitable than creation, the cycle is already turning. Like Rome's denarius, Spain's silver, and Britain's pound, the American dollar carries the same fatal flaw. It's built on trust, which is backed by credit. History doesn't just repeat itself, it warns us. Every empire collapses not when it runs out of enemies to fight, but when it runs out of truth to tell itself. Debt isn't just numbers on a screen, it's a memory, a record of promises made and never kept. Rome forgot, Spain forgot, Britain forgot. And now, America stands on the very edge of the same spiral. The question is not if history will repeat, but whether we're willing to see it before it does. Every empire believes it will never fall, but history has never agreed. Thank you so much for watching. If this made you think, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the patterns that shape our world. See you in the next one.